Picture a city that once symbolized the American dream, where 4 million people now wake up each morning wondering if they can afford to stay another year. Welcome to Los Angeles 2025, where more people are leaving than arriving for the first time in over a century. Could you survive in a place where a basic apartment costs more than most people's entire salary and a simple commute takes longer than some cross-country flights? The numbers behind this exodus reveal a shocking transformation that's redefining what it means to chase success in America. The migration data tells a story that would have been unthinkable just a decade ago. For the first time since the 1860s, more people are packing up and leaving Los Angeles County than moving in. According to 2024 census estimates, LA lost over 97,000 residents in just 2 years, with the broader California exodus reaching nearly 400,000 people annually. That's like the entire population of Oakland vanishing every single year. Who's fleeing? You might assume it's just retirees, but the reality is more alarming. 35% of those leaving are between 25 and 44 years old, the prime working age population that drives innovation and economic growth. These aren't just any workers either. Tech professionals, healthcare workers, teachers, and small business owners are leading the charge, taking their skills and tax dollars with them. Where are they going? Texas gained over 76,000 former Californians in 2023 alone, followed by Arizona, Nevada, and Florida. Even traditionally expensive cities like Austin and Miami suddenly look affordable compared to LA's rental market. The irony? Many of these transplants are discovering they can buy houses, start families, and build careers in places their LA salaries could never touch. This isn't just about personal choice anymore. When young professionals and families abandon your city en masse, the economic foundation starts to crack. But the real shock comes when you see what's driving them away in the first place. While the numbers tell one story, the skyrocketing cost of basic shelter tells an even more alarming one. Housing costs in LA have reached levels that would make Manhattan landlords blush. The median home price hit $1.2 million in 2024, while the median household income sits at just $76,000. That's a ratio of nearly 16 to 1, meaning you'd need to save every penny for 16 years just to afford a down payment. For comparison, the national ratio is typically 4 to 1. Rent tells an even grimmer story. Average rents jumped 42% between 2020 and 2024, while wages crawled up just 11%. Your $3,000 a month in LA gets you a cramped one-bedroom apartment in a questionable neighborhood. That same money rents a spacious three-bedroom house with a yard in Dallas, or a luxury downtown loft in Nashville. The human cost is staggering. Los Angeles teachers earning $55,000 annually spend 70% of their income on housing, forcing many to live in cars or commute 2 hours from cheaper areas. Firefighters and paramedics, the people who literally save lives, can't afford to live in the communities they serve. A recent LAFD survey found that 68% of new recruits are considering leaving within 5 years, not because of the danger, but because of the rent. Even middle-class professionals making six-figure salaries find themselves priced out. Engineers, nurses, and accountants are sharing apartments like college students or moving back in with parents. The American dream of homeownership has become a fantasy for anyone not already wealthy. But even if you can afford the rent, good luck getting to work on time. Traffic in LA has evolved from an inconvenience into a life-destroying force. The average commuter now spends 54 minutes each way getting to work, turning an 8-hour job into an 11-hour daily commitment. The 405 freeway between the San Fernando Valley and West LA moves at an average speed of 12 miles per hour during rush hour. You could literally walk faster than driving on America's busiest highway. Public transit offers little relief. Despite billions invested in metro expansion, ridership has plummeted 38% since 2019 due to safety concerns and unreliable service. Violent incidents on metro lines increased 67% in 2023, while on-time performance dropped to just 71%. Would you trust your daily commute to a system where nearly 1 in 3 trains runs late and assault reports are climbing monthly? The infrastructure itself is crumbling. LA's roads earned a D- grade from the American Society of Civil Engineers, with a maintenance backlog exceeding $8 billion. Potholes damage over 200,000 vehicles annually, costing drivers an average of $600 each in repairs. The economic toll is staggering. Traffic congestion costs LA residents $4,200 per person annually in lost productivity, fuel, and vehicle wear. That's money vanishing from family budgets while you sit motionless on the freeway, watching your life tick away in 10-mile-per-hour increments. For many Angelenos, the daily grind of navigating this transportation nightmare has become unbearable. But the stress of daily commutes pales in comparison to wondering if your neighborhood is safe. Personal safety has become a daily calculation for millions of Angelenos. Violent crime jumped 24% between 2022 and 2024, with robberies increasing 38% and aggravated assaults up 29%. But statistics only tell part of the story. Walk through downtown LA or Venice Beach, and you'll witness a city where basic public order has collapsed. Retail theft has reached epidemic proportions, costing businesses over $2 billion annually. Major chains like Target, Walgreens, and CVS have closed dozens of locations, creating food deserts in neighborhoods that desperately need basic services. When a pharmacy closes because it loses $50,000 monthly to shoplifting, entire communities lose access to prescription medications and essential goods. Police response times tell their own grim tale. Average emergency response has stretched to 8.7 minutes, up from 5.2 minutes in 2019. The LAPD operates with nearly 1,000 fewer officers than recommended for a city of 4 million people. When you call 911, you're competing with over 3,000 daily emergency calls for attention from an understaffed force. The breakdown affects everyone differently. Wealthy neighborhoods hire private security, while working-class families install bars on windows and avoid evening walks. Business owners factor theft into pricing, making everything more expensive for honest customers. Parents change their children's routes to school and cancel evening activities. Public safety concerns intersect with every other urban challenge, creating a web of interconnected problems that feed off each other. Speaking of homelessness, what was once hidden is now impossible to ignore. Homelessness has transformed from an unfortunate social issue into a visible crisis that defines daily life in Los Angeles. The 2024 count revealed 75,000 homeless individuals countywide, a staggering increase of 12% in just 1 year. To put that in perspective, LA's homeless population is larger than the entire population of Santa Barbara. Encampments now sprawl across neighborhoods that were middle class just a decade ago. Venice Beach resembles a refugee camp more than a tourist destination, while Skid Row has expanded far beyond its traditional boundaries. You'll find tents lining freeway underpasses in Koreatown, blocking sidewalks in Hollywood, and filling parks where children once played safely. The public health implications are alarming. Hepatitis A outbreaks have spiked 47% since 2022, while typhus cases have tripled. Streets littered with human waste and drug paraphernalia create biohazard conditions that force residents to navigate their own neighborhoods like obstacle courses. Despite spending over $1 billion annually on homelessness services, the crisis deepens yearly. The average cost per housing unit in LA's homeless programs exceeds $600,000, more than the median home price in most American cities. Yet visible homelessness continues growing, creating a cycle where massive spending produces minimal results. The crisis affects property values, business viability, and basic quality of life for millions of residents who simply want safe, clean neighborhoods for their families. The homeless crisis is just one symptom of a broader governmental dysfunction. Local government in Los Angeles has mastered the art of spectacular failure while maintaining plausible deniability. Take measure. HRHH, the $1.2 billion bond passed in 2016 to build 10,000 units of permanent supportive housing. 7 years later, fewer than 4,000 units have been completed at an average cost exceeding $700,000 each. You could buy mansions in most states for what LA spends on single homeless housing units. Budget priorities reveal a city leadership completely disconnected from reality. While residents struggle with basic services, the city allocated $43 million for outreach coordinators and homeless liaisons, whose primary achievement appears to be generating reports about the problem. Meanwhile, the LAPD's budget shrunk by $150 million, and road maintenance funds were diverted to consultant studies that gather dust on shelves. Bureaucratic dysfunction reaches comical levels. Simple projects like installing a stop sign require 18 months and multiple environmental impact studies. Small businesses face permit processes so Byzantine that many entrepreneurs give up before opening. When it takes longer to get approval for a food truck than to earn a college degree, you know the system is broken. Voter anger is reaching a boiling point. District Attorney George Gaskin survived a recall attempt by just 4 percentage points, while multiple city council members face ongoing investigations for corruption. Public approval ratings for city leadership hover near historic lows of 28%. The result is a governance system that excels at spending money while failing to solve problems. While politicians debate, businesses are voting with their feet. The corporate exodus from Los Angeles reads like a who's who of American business. Tesla moved its headquarters to Texas, taking 11,000 jobs and billions in tax revenue. SpaceX shifted operations to Starbase, followed by Oracle, Hewlett-Packard, and dozens of smaller tech companies. Even entertainment giants like Netflix are expanding production facilities in Georgia and New Mexico while scaling back LA operations. Small businesses face an even grimmer reality. LA County lost over 18,000 small businesses between 2020 and 2024, a closure rate 37% higher than the national average. Restaurant owners cite permits that cost $15,000 and take 8 months to process, while retail shops struggle with theft rates that make profitability impossible. Why stay in a city where opening a coffee shop requires more paperwork than launching a satellite? The job market reflects this business flight. While unemployment sits at 4.1%, wage growth has stagnated at just 2.3% annually, far below inflation. High-paying tech and aerospace jobs are vanishing, replaced by lower-wage service positions that can't support LA's cost of living. The average worker now earns 8% less in real purchasing power than they did 5 years ago. Tax base erosion threatens the city's future. Corporate departures have cost LA an estimated $3.7 billion in annual tax revenue since 2020. As businesses flee and wealthy residents follow, the remaining population faces higher taxes to fund the same failing services. The economic drain extends beyond business to impact every resident's wallet. Living expenses in LA create 1,000 paper cuts to your budget that add up to financial hemorrhaging. Electricity costs 38% more than the national average, with summer bills routinely hitting $400 for modest apartments. Gas prices stay consistently 50 to 70 cents above national rates, meaning your daily commute costs an extra $1,200 annually just in fuel. Groceries tell their own expensive story. A basic shopping trip that costs $80 in Phoenix runs $120 in LA. Coffee shops charge $7 for lattes that cost $4 in Denver. Restaurant meals carry a premium that makes dining out a luxury rather than convenience, with average dinner costs 43% higher than comparable cities. The hidden costs are what really drain bank accounts. Parking meters charge $6 hourly downtown, while monthly parking spots cost more than rent in some states. City registration fees, business licenses, and permit costs nickel and dime residents at every turn. Even basic services like trash pickup and water carry surcharges that don't exist elsewhere. Insurance premiums reflect the city's risks. Auto insurance costs 27% more due to theft and accident rates, while property insurance has skyrocketed due to wildfire exposure. Healthcare costs exceed national averages by 31%, making even routine medical care financially stressful. The cumulative effect means LA residents need to earn 22% more than national averages just to maintain equivalent lifestyles. Every aspect of daily life carries a premium that slowly suffocates financial stability. Even nature seems to be turning against the city. Mother Nature has declared war on Los Angeles, and she's winning decisively. Wildfire season now lasts 10 months instead of the traditional 4, with over 2 million residents living in high-risk fire zones. The 2023 fire season burned 300,000 acres countywide, forcing evacuations that have become annual rituals rather than rare emergencies. When you're packing go bags every October and checking evacuation routes like morning traffic reports, you're not living in paradise anymore. Water scarcity adds another layer of anxiety. LA depends on imported water for 85% of its supply, with Colorado River allocations shrinking yearly due to historic drought. Current restrictions limit outdoor watering to twice weekly, while future cuts could reduce household water pressure. Swimming pools sit empty, lawns turn brown, and residents face fines for exceeding usage limits. Air quality ranks among the worst in America, with LA experiencing over 100 unhealthy air days annually. Particulate matter from wildfires combines with urban smog, to create toxic conditions that trigger asthma attacks and respiratory problems in over 600,000 residents. Children can't play outside during spare the air alerts that now occur monthly. Insurance companies are abandoning the market entirely. State Farm stopped writing new homeowner policies in 2023, followed by Allstate and Farmers. Those who can still get coverage pay premiums that have doubled since 2020, with deductibles so high that minor claims become out-of-pocket expenses. Living with constant environmental threats exhausts even the most resilient residents. For young people especially, these mounting challenges have created a clear choice. The exodus of young talent represents LA's most devastating loss, one that will echo through decades. Among those leaving, 62% are between 25 and 39 years old. The demographic that traditionally drives innovation, starts businesses, and builds families. These aren't just statistics. They're the engineers who would have launched the next tech unicorn, the teachers who would have shaped future generations, and the entrepreneurs who would have created thousands of jobs. Remote work has shattered the golden handcuffs that once kept talent tied to expensive coastal cities. A software developer earning $150,000 in LA can maintain the same salary while living in Austin, where their money buys a house with a yard instead of a cramped apartment. Marketing professionals are discovering they can build careers from Nashville, Raleigh, or Phoenix while enjoying lower costs and higher quality of life. The destinations tell the story. Austin gained over 43,000 young professionals from California between 2022 and 2024. Miami, Denver, and Nashville are experiencing similar influxes of LA transplants who bring skills, ambition, and spending power to their new communities. The long-term implications are catastrophic. Young workers drive tax revenue, support local businesses, and create the cultural energy that makes cities vibrant. As they leave, LA faces an aging population with shrinking economic dynamism. Innovation clusters relocate to friendlier business climates, while cultural institutions lose their audiences. Without dramatic course corrections, LA risks transforming from the city of dreams into a cautionary tale of how paradise can become unlivable. Unless dramatic changes occur, LA risks becoming a cautionary tale of how the American dream can turn into an unaffordable nightmare.